Good afternoon, children. Welcome to chemistry class. Hope you all have done your SA1 very well and almost all of you have completed your chemistry classwork and homework. Continue the same, children. Today, let us learn the lesson Carbon and its compounds. Before starting the lesson, let us see what is the importance of carbon. Compared to all other elements, why carbon is so important? So, we are having the food, we are wearing clothes, we are using the medicines, we are writing in books, reading the books. So almost all, and we are using plastics articles in our houses. So almost all the substances what we are using, it is made up of carbon. And why carbon forms such a large number of compounds compared to all other elements? So all these we are going to learn in this lesson. So let us see food, clothes, medicines, books or many of the things are all based on this versatile element carbon. In addition, all living structures are carbon based. So in our food it contains proteins, carbohydrates, lipids, fats. All these are carbon compounds. And we are using soaps, cosmetics, all these all are carbon compounds. So why carbon is so important? That only we are going to learn in this lesson. The amount of carbon present in the Earth's crust and in the atmosphere is quite meager. That means very little. The Earth's crust has only 0.02% of carbon in the form of minerals like carbonates, hydrogen carbonates, coal and petroleum. And the atmosphere has only 0.03% of carbon dioxide. In spite of all these, that means all the small amount of carbon available in nature, the importance of carbon is very immense. It seems to be immense. So let us see, before starting the lesson regarding the carbon compounds we are going to learn. Before that, let us see what is meant by covalent bond. You have studied two types of bonds. What are they? Ionic bond, another one is covalent bond. How an ionic bond is formed? Ionic bond is formed by the transfer of electron. That means one atom loses electron, the other atom gains it. So transfer of electron, due to that only what is formed? Ionic bond is formed. How a covalent bond is formed? A covalent bond is formed by sharing of electrons. So a chemical bond formed by sharing of an electron pair between two atoms is called a covalent bond. So two types of chemical bonds you have studied already, ionic bond and covalent bond. So as carbon forms covalent bond, first we learn about the covalent bond. So what is a covalent bond? A chemical bond formed by the sharing of an electron pair between the two atoms is called a covalent bond. Now let us see the properties of covalent compounds. First one, covalent compounds have low melting and boiling points. So why it is having low melting and boiling points? You know what is meant by melting? A solid is converted into liquid state. Boiling means a liquid. It boils and converts into vapor state or gaseous state. So suppose a solid is converted into liquid state. In solids, the molecules are attracted with each other. So it has to be converted to the liquid state. We have to supply energy. So the attraction between the molecules are strong means more energy is required. More heat we have to provide to convert the solid to liquid. The attraction is weak means less amount of energy only required. So as here in the case of covalent compounds, the attraction between the molecules is weak. That's the reason less amount of heat is required. to convert a solid to liquid or liquid to gaseous state. That's the reason covalent compounds are having low melting and boiling points. So we can see the reason here. Intermolecular forces are weak. Intermolecular means the forces between the molecules. Now let us see what is the other property. Covalent compounds are poor conductors of electricity. You know, electricity means what it is. Electricity you have studied already. So why a substance conduct electricity? Because of the presence of charged particle in it. In case of ionic compounds, they ionize to form positive and negative ions. Due to the presence of these ions, positive and negative ions or cations and anions, only an ionic compound conduct electricity. So, in the case of covalent compounds, there is no charge separation. That's the reason covalent compounds are poor conductors of electricity. That means electrons are shared between the atoms and no charged particles are formed here. So we have learned what is a covalent bond? A chemical bond formed by the sharing of an electron pair between the two atoms, that is called a covalent bond. What are the properties? Covalent compounds have low melting and boiling points. They are poor conductors of electricity. Now let us see the bonding in carbon. Why carbon forms the covalent bond? Why it is not forming an ionic bond? So let us see. So any bond we have to explain, we should know the electronic configuration of the element. To write the electronic configuration, what we should know? We should know its atomic number. You have already learned that atomic number of carbon is 6. So how can we write the electronic configuration? In K shell there are 2 electrons and L shell 4 electrons. So to complete the octet structure or to make it stable, how many more electrons are required? You can see here in the valence shell there are 4 electrons. So it can either lose 4 electrons or gain 4 electrons. Let us see if it is gaining or losing electron, what is the problem? If it gains 4 electrons, what will happen? You know, carbon's atomic number is 6. That means in nucleus of the carbon, how many protons are present? There are 6 protons. So if it is gaining 4 electrons, now in carbon there are 6 protons in the nucleus and there are 6 electrons in the shells. First shell 2 electrons and second shell, that means L shell 4 electrons. If it gains 4 more electrons, then in the nucleus there are 6 protons. That means 6 positive charge in the nucleus. You know proton's charge is positive. And there are 10 electrons. In carbon there are 6 electrons. If it gains 4 electrons, totally 10 electrons will be there. So it is very difficult for the nucleus with 6 positive charge to hold all these 10 electrons. That's the reason it cannot gain electron and form an anion. You know already, if any element is gaining, any atom is gaining electron, it form an anion or negatively charged ion. So if carbon gains 4 electrons, what is the problem? It could gain 4 electrons forming C4 minus anion. But it would be difficult for the nucleus with 6 protons to hold on to 10 electrons, that is 4 extra electrons. So nucleus is having only 6 positive charge. 4 more electron it gains means there will be 10 electron in total. So it is difficult for the nucleus to hold this 10 electron with 6 positive charge in the nucleus. So it cannot gain 4 electron. Now let us see if it is losing 4 electron, what is the problem? If it loses 4 electron, what will happen? We know to remove the electron from a neutral atom, it requires energy because this positive charge nucleus will be attracting the negatively charged electron. To overcome this attraction, one electron should be removed means lot of energy is required. So 4 electrons should be removed means more energy is required. So that also is not possible. It could lose 4 electrons forming C4 plus cation. but it would require a large amount to remove 4 electrons, leaving behind a carbon atom with 6 protons in its nucleus, holding on to just 2 electrons. So, gaining of electron also it cannot do. Losing of 4 electrons also is not possible. Gaining of 4 electrons, what is the problem? Carbon only with 6 proton, it cannot hold all the 10 electrons. Losing of 4 electrons, what is the problem? Lose 4 electron from the carbon, lot of energy is required. So that also not possible. So what it will do to complete the octet? You know, octet structure can be completed either by losing electron or gaining electron or sharing electron. So losing these 4 electrons also difficult, gaining 4 electrons also difficult. So what it can do? It can share the electrons. So carbon overcomes this problem by sharing its valence electrons with other atoms of carbon or with atoms of other elements. Not only carbon, many other elements also form the same way for the covalent bond by sharing of electrons. The shared electron belong to the outermost shell of both the atoms and lead to both atoms attaining the noble gas configuration. So let us see some molecules, how the covalent bond formation takes place. H2 molecule, hydrogen molecule, how it is formed. You know the atomic number of hydrogen is 1. What is the electronic configuration? It is having only one shell, K shell, in that only one electron. So hence hydrogen has only one electron in its K shell and it requires one more electron to fill the K shell. So in the case of hydrogen, octet structure is not required because it is having only one shell, K shell. K shell, you know, maximum electrons can be accommodated is only 2. So it requires one more electron to attain the stability. So how it will get this one more electron? You know, in H2 molecule there are 2 atoms, 2 hydrogen atoms. So each hydrogen atom is sharing one pair of electron. Both of it will get 2 electrons each. Let us see. So 2 hydrogen atoms share their electrons to form a molecule of hydrogen H2. This allows each hydrogen atom to attain the electronic configuration of the nearest noble gas helium, which has 2 electrons in its K shell. So all the elements are by gaining, losing or sharing they are trying to attain the nearest noble gas configuration. So next to hydrogen the nearest noble gas is helium. It is having 2 electrons, it is stable. So hydrogen also trying to get that electronic configuration. How? By sharing the electron between 2 hydrogen atoms. So we can depict this using dot or crosses to represent the valence electrons. So bond formation we can represent using the dot. This cross represents the electron. Either by cross or by dots we can represent. So here you can see hydrogen is having 1 electron in the K shell. This hydrogen also having 1 electron. So the electron of this hydrogen and electron of this hydrogen both are sharing here. So these 2 electrons belong to both of the hydrogen. They are sharing. So now you can see this hydrogen get 2 electrons. This also getting 2 electrons. Both are stable. So how many electrons are shared between these 2 hydrogen here? There are 2 electrons they are sharing. So as 2 electron means 1 pair. If 1 pair of electrons are shared between the 2 atoms, a single covalent bond is formed. So let us see. The shared pair of electrons is said to constitute a single covalent bond between the 2 hydrogen atoms. A single bond is also represented by a line between the 2 atoms. We can see here hydrogen, there is a line between the atoms. Next, let us see how Cl2 molecule, chlorine molecule is formed. You know the atomic number of chlorine is 17. How can we write its electronic configuration? 2, 8, 7. So how many electrons are there in the valence shell? 7 electrons. How many more it required to complete the octet structure? Only 1 electron. So here what will happen? These 2 chlorine atoms share 1 electron pair between them. So both of them will get 2 8 electron each, both are stable. Let us see. So here you can see chlorine is having here electron dot structure or electron with the using dot or cross we can represent it all. When you are representing this, we will represent only the valence shell electron. We are not representing this inner shell electron, KL and L shell. Only the valence shell electron we are representing here. So in these structures, bond formation. So here you know there are 7 electrons in the valence shell of chlorine. Other chlorine also having 7 electrons. So one pair they are sharing. 1 electron of this chlorine and 1 electron of this chlorine, both of them are mutually sharing here. So how many pairs they are sharing? 1 pair, 2 electrons. That means 1 pair. So what kind of bond is formed here? A single bond is formed. So single bond is represented by a line between the atoms and chlorine molecule is formed. So an atom of chlorine has 7 electrons in its L shell and it requires 1 more electron to complete its octet. So each atom of chlorine shares 1 electron with another atom of chlorine. 1 electron contributed by each chlorine atom gives rise to 1 shared pair of electrons. This is said to constitute a single bond between the two atoms. Next, let us see O2 molecule or oxygen molecule. How is it formed? You know what is the atomic number of oxygen? It is 8. So how we can write the electronic configuration? 2, 6. How many electrons are there in the outermost shell? 6. How many more it requires? 2 more. So how it will attain the stability? Here they are sharing 2 pairs of electrons between the oxygen atom. An atom of oxygen has 6 electrons in its cell shell and it requires 2 more electrons to complete its octet. So each atom of oxygen shares 2 electrons with another atom of oxygen. Let us see here. One oxygen atom is having 6 electrons in the valence shell. Other oxygen also having 6 electrons. So both of them are sharing 2 pairs. 2 electrons of this oxygen and 2 electrons of this oxygen both are mutually sharing. As 2 pairs are sharing here, that means 4 electrons they are mutually sharing or 2 pairs. A double bond is formed between these 2 oxygen atoms. The 2 electrons contributed by each oxygen atom give rise to 2 shared pair of electrons. This is said to constitute a double bond between the 2 atoms. Now let us see how N2 molecule or nitrogen molecule is formed. You know atomic number of nitrogen is 7. How can we write its electronic configuration? 2, 5. That means in the valence shell how many electrons are present? 5. How many electrons required to complete the octet? 3 more. So how many electrons it will be sharing? 3 pairs of electrons. In order to attain an octet, each nitrogen atom in a molecule of nitrogen contributes 3 electrons, giving rise to 3 shared pairs of electrons. So here you can see nitrogen is having 5 valence electrons. So how many pairs they are sharing? They are sharing 3 pairs of electrons. 3 electrons of this nitrogen and 3 electrons of this nitrogen they are sharing. So which bond is formed here? A triple bond is formed between the 2 nitrogen atoms. This is said to constitute a triple bond between the 2 atoms. Now next is methane. Methane, how the molecule is formed? You know methane is widely used as a fuel and is a major component of biogas and compressed natural gas, CNG. It is also one of the simplest compounds formed by carbon. Methane, what is the formula of methane you know? It is CH4, 1 carbon and 4 hydrogen. So you know carbon's valence is 4, that means it is sharing 4 electrons and hydrogen valence is 1, it is having 1 electron in the K shell. So each hydrogen require here 1 more electron and carbon require totally 4 electrons to complete the octet. So hydrogen's valence is 1, carbon's valence is 4. So in order to achieve the noble gas configuration, carbon shares these electrons with the 4 atoms of hydrogen. So let us see here. Each hydrogen is having 1 electron in the case shell. So each hydrogen is having 1 electron and carbon is having 4 electron in the valence shell. So carbon require totally 4 more electrons. Each hydrogen require 1 more electron to complete the octet. So here you can see how the covalent bond is formed here. Each carbon shares with the hydrogen 1 pair each. So here let us see this bond how it is formed. Carbon, the electron of this carbon shares with the electron of this hydrogen. A single bond is formed here. The same way here also. Hydrogen's 1 electron shares carbon's 1 electron and forms a single bond. So the same way here 4 bonds are formed. Now you can see carbon is having totally 8 electrons. It is stable. Each hydrogen has 1 electron, 2 electron each. So they are also stable. So which kind of bond will be formed here? As one pair is shared between the carbon and hydrogen here a single bond is formed. Here also a single bond. So there are 4 carbon-hydrogen bonds here. Next, let us see how the water molecule is formed. You know oxygen's electronic configuration 2, 6 and hydrogen only 1 electron in the case shell. So oxygen require 2 more electron and each hydrogen require 1 more electron. So you can see here hydrogen case shell 1 electron, both the hydrogens. Oxygen in the L shell there are 6 electrons. So oxygen require 2 more electrons and each hydrogen require 1 more electron. So here you can see oxygen's 1 electron and hydrogen's 1 electron mutually they are sharing. The same way here also 1 electron of oxygen and 1 electron of hydrogen they are mutually sharing. So here one single bond is formed, here also one single bond. 2 OH bond is formed here. Now let us see how ammonia molecule is formed. Ammonia formula is NH3. Here you can see nitrogen's electronic configuration is 2, 5. 5 electron in the valence shell. You can see here this red dots denotes the electrons of this nitrogen. There are 5 valence electrons. Each hydrogen is having 1 electron in the case shell. So here nitrogen requires 3 more electrons. How it is getting it? It is sharing with each hydrogen 1 pair it is sharing. So these hydrogen's 1 electron and nitrogen's 1 electron shares here and a single bond is formed. Here also hydrogen's 1 electron and nitrogen's 1 electron shares. A single bond forms. Here also the same way one single bond is formed by sharing of electrons of 1 electron of nitrogen and 1 electron of hydrogen. Let us see. So there are 3 NH bonds here. So we have learned the covalent bond formation in different compounds. We have learned the covalent bond formation in H2 molecule, N2 molecule, O2 molecule, water molecule, ammonia molecule and methane molecule. Hope you understood today's class. Thank you children.